This is Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Friday edition of Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin, Dennis Dick with you this morning. We've got earnings. We've got a jobs number. We've got the market at all-time highs. We've got Johnson & Johnson getting into the FDA COVID vaccine game. So a lot to get to on our show. Jason Rasnick is our guest. He'll be on with us later around 8:45 or so until probably 9 or 9:10, depending on how long he wants to go for. So got a packed show. We'll take questions from our chats. Speaking of chats, if you're in there, or even if you're not, hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit share on whatever platform you're watching us on. We appreciate that. Joel, how are we doing this morning? We're at all-time highs.
Oh, man, we are trading at all-time highs. Really strong close yesterday. No one wants to see that chart of Sava up there. All-time highs yesterday. Caught a bid right underneath that closing price of $64.50 at $38.60. Pre-market high, 86 and a quarter, folks. I can't give you resistance when there's none in the market. You have crude up 52 cents at 56.75. We kissed the 57 handle earlier, getting to 57.09. Gold trying to reclaim 1800. That's up 820 at 17.99.40. Silver going the same way. That's up 28 cents at 26.52. Both those bounced. Well, gold more bounced off the trading range from November. And Bitcoin, 25 days of closes and the 30,000 handle looks like it's about to come to an end. Bitcoin futures up $405 at 38,320. Spencer, do you have a drum roll?
Drum roll.
Because I would like to
make one. I can grab one real fast from the internet, or I can make one myself.
What's up?
Okay.
What's up?
I want to bring in my partner on the Pre-Market Prep Show, who is now an international celebrity. International. Not local, not in Detroit, not in the United States, not in Canada. Global.
Well, he was always global because he's in Canada, but
oh, that's right.
I'm international. I'm not global.
Yeah, true.
Well, you're going to go in space. They're going to put you in Mars. Tell them the news, Triple D.
I don't know if there's any news. No, and I don't know if this is big news or not, but so anyways, I'm going on RT this morning, but I don't think it's RT global. I think it's RT the American feed. So
it could be.
Rock, Joel.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe it is the international feed.
All right, wait. Tell us what time the totally independent, autonomous media network of RT is going to have you on today.
10 a.m. No, it's good network. So they're having me on. It's going to be good. So it's going to be fun.
Looking forward to it. We'll
see. So 10 a.m. if you're bored, you can jump on RT. Check me out. I'm going to talk GameStop. They want the GameStop story. And I was like, sure, I could talk GameStop. I'll give the prop trader perspective. It's not going to be the retail perspective. So I'll get into shorting stocks and telling you how shorting is an evil on RT. So let's see what's up. It's going to be fun.
All right, fantastic. So what are you seeing out there?
Low. How do I fix my mic? All right, we got this.
I'm working on that. I'm working on that.
All right, audio, mic. Oh, I can't adjust it. I can just go like this. Boom. Is that better?
Yes, sir.
Boom. Look at this. I'm like tech. I can do technical stuff too here sometimes. So
you do it all, Triple D.
You
did that better? Plumbing?
Mike better? Question mark to the chat. I know the plumbing. I passed my level 1 plumbing with that with that shark bite. All right, they say it's better. So now let the show go on, and let's talk stocks. I mean, this morning's rally, is this a little bit of thanks to Johnson & Johnson? Give us the news here on J&J. Spencer left.
I'm here. I never.
Okay, stop. Who's the new guy? We got a whole bunch of new people here, but who's we got the whole Seinfeld cast, I guess, here actually.
We do have the cast. I'm missing. I don't have Newman.
We got to get Newman in there.
But yeah,
where are you getting these from? Are you ordering these on Amazon? Like, where are these guys coming from? It's not like you can just go on to your local, I don't know what you even call those things, store and buy them right now. Where are you getting these things?
Yeah,
what are these things called?
We have stores in America too.
These fake people. What are they called?
They're cardboard cutouts, or no, they're actually wood. They're wood. They're not
these are hardcore ones.
Yeah, they're like actual wood. What happened was I mentioned this before, but Jason and Luke, like 6 months ago, went to some sort of I don't know what you call it, like a liquidation sale at like a warehouse in Detroit, and they had a bunch of crap basically, and they had like a bunch of these cutouts. So Jason and Luke just like bought like a bunch of random.
So you have a whole bunch of these just sit in the back room ready to rock.
Well, you've seen most of them. There are a couple more you haven't seen, but you've seen most of it. We have a giant, like 9 foot or 8 foot tall replica of like the Academy Award, like the Oscar statue.
You guys got everything there.
I don't know why we have these things, but we do.
Well, just in case you need to put them on pre-market prep. I mean, look at our fan base here now. We now have the Seinfeld cast that is avid listeners wanting to know what is happening with their GameStop stock.
They want to know what's the deal with the stock market.
They want to know what's going on with GME. Everybody wants to know what's going on with GME. So, okay, well, we're not going to talk GME off the hop for once. This is the first day.
That's quite the tangent. Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, so they've submitted their application for a single-shot COVID-19 vaccine to the FDA. That's the news from yesterday.
And that has the stock trading up about $3. I mean, let's think about this, though. Single shot would be nice, because I know probably in Canada, at least 4 people have had their first shots and are delayed on their second shots. Is that what's happening there too? Lisa got her second shot though.
That is correct. Yeah, I have not heard that here.
But there have been delays in the U.S. on the second shots. There has.
No. What I've heard, my sources are telling me is that these places are getting oversupply, and they are throwing it out. They don't, some of these nursing homes and stuff.
Send it to Canada because we are short vaccine doses.
Can't send anything to Canada.
Oh, yeah, I know. You can't. That's all right, actually. It's actually difficult. I was trying to send a registered letter across. They don't have that. I had to send it as a parcel, and then you have to do clear customs ahead of time. And I mean, this is tough even mailing stuff across the border here right now. So it's not just closed for people. It's closed for it's more difficult to get your letters across there too. And then you're in the U.S. postal system. That's always interesting as well. But, that's a terrible tangent. But we're going back to the Johnson & Johnson
please.
Story.
Yeah,
Johnson story. I mean, one shot and you're done. That sounds pretty good because right now you got to get the 2 shots. So one and done. I think the market likes that. I mean, obviously, this is just going for approval here right now, so we don't have an approval on it. But I like the idea of the one and done. I think the market likes the idea of the one and done. I think the IWM likes the idea of the one and done. So lots of movement going to be in the IWM this morning. It is up relative to the rest of the market. We've also got the sneaky jobs report coming here today as well. Mm-hmm. So that always impacts the IWM more than the S&P for the simple reason. If you think like you got the IWM as a lot of small companies, that's very where you've got the bigger companies in the S&P like the Amazons. We know the top 10 components make up like 25% of the index.
And it's
Amazon's doing well no matter what. Even the jobs are down. Amazon's doing well no matter what. But IWM is more indicative, and they want the stimulus. The IWM wants jobs. I don't know if it matters because they find the silver lining no matter what. But the one shot and done. I like that idea too. So IWM showed some strength this morning.
So wait, just to go on the IWM for a second, there are only 3 stocks that have a larger than 0.5% weighting.
Very diversified.
Yeah, it's extremely diversified. Everything else is either 0.5% or less of the fund, of the basket. So
what are the 3 that are higher?
Plug Power is 0.95%.
Because they haven't rebalanced.
Novavax,
they'll be doing that soon.
Novavax is 0.62%.
Yeah.
And Penn National, the CEO is on CNBC this morning. They're 0.61%.
Holy, that Penn National. What a terrible sale by me. I sold it at 103 when I got spooked and shouldn't have sold it. 118. Never. Every time you sell something, it's just a bad sale. Don't
Yeah,
sell.
you know that. Johnson & Johnson. Dennis, do you have your open book? Do you have the book open or not? Or is that too far away?
I don't, but I should go. I can do it. No,
yeah, just real quick for people that don't know, people that are new to the show, open book. What we're talking about on the open book is the New York
NYSE open book.
And NYSE open book publishes orders that are on the book and they're out there to get filled. A lot of times they're big institutional orders. They're like
the passive limit orders.
Passive limit orders that are just there every day. They're entered every single day. And institution wants to get out of a couple 100,000 J&J, they put it. And right now, the reason I'm asking that is because you hit 166 hard, then you went up to 166 again, and you've tried it a couple times. So someone wants to sell 166. So if you want more upside in J&J, you got to take out that seller at 166, keep on going. You also had a daily high there, and then you got a gap to fill. So there's your setup for J&J.
It's like from the chart. Like sometimes we can go look in our open book. You can subscribe to that for $60 a month, and you can actually see the order. What it is, it's the passive limit orders that are on the book. And what Joel's referring to, sometimes orders back GTC orders, good till canceled. So sometimes your institutions will just throw out orders and say, look, sell me 100,000, 166, sell me 100,000, 167, sell me 100,000, 168. They throw it out GTC and they forget about it. If it gets to their target, then they're out of their trade. So you do see that happen at the big points. We call it at the point. And 166, when you see a stock tick like it did back, looking at the J&J chart on the 29th, when you see it tick 166 and not go through it, it makes you think there could be a seller there. When you get the second day and you can't get up there either, it makes you think that, okay, well, there's probably somebody perched at the point, which is 166 in this case on J&J. So bringing up my open book now, looking at 166, and it's nothing really there. Not at least lit. And and institutions aren't always showing their orders either. There could be an algorithm there that could be selling stock, but I only see 4,600 shares there, so it's pretty early. Maybe there's gonna be another order that comes back in, but right now that looks like major technical resistance. So I'll give it to you on the technicals, although I don't see it from an order flow perspective, at least not.
Yeah, and they're going to have to scoop up. The buyers are going to have to scoop up. I know there's probably been pretty good volume in this, but the buyers are going to have to scoop up all the other limit orders, and that's a pretty. I'm not sure what the average daily range. It's traded 145,000, but if you think about between that closing price of 161.99 and let's call it 165 right now, it might struggle even open over 165. And no, these aren't dark pool orders. These are GTC orders on the exchange. So
yeah, I mean, there's so many different venues, and we don't want to get all market structure-y here. We've been a lot of market structure lately, but you've got, what is it, 16 or 15 or 16 public exchanges? I can't, I can't keep track of them all because it always seems like there's a new exchange. But you have between 14 and 16 public lit exchanges, and then you've got a number of dark pools where these are individual broker dealer pools where liquidity, where they're not lit, so they are off exchange, but they're their own lit. And then you have obviously off exchange market makers, which have been getting a lot of press, like Citadel, UBS, Virtue Financial, that are making markets. So basically your orders can get executed all over the place. If you went back to 20 years ago, 90% of orders of New York Stock Exchange listed stocks were executed on the New York Stock Exchange. Now that number is around 14 or 15%. So it's significantly less as the market has fragmented substantially in the last 20 years.
So, I do some more earnings?
Well, we haven't done any earnings. let's do some earnings. Let's start with Pinterest here. Dennis, maybe you know this because I've been trying to figure out all morning why they reacted so well to Pinterest and not to Snap or Peloton. So Pinterest had a great report yesterday. It's run up into the number. It doesn't matter. 43-cent EPS versus a 32-cent estimate. Sales was 705 million versus a 645 million estimate. So it beat on the top and the bottom line. Global monthly.
Snap with it too.
Okay, global monthly active users up 37% year over year. Yeah. So great numbers for Pinterest. I'll just give you the Snap numbers while I'm at it. We'll be both at the same time. Snap, same story. It's a beat and a beat. The EPS was 9 cents versus 7 cents. Sales 911 million versus 857 million. They also gave some Q1 sales guidance that was above the estimates in the mid $700 million range. Estimate was closer to $700 million. So the same story, beating the beat for Snapchat, beating the beat for Pinterest. They like Pinterest. They don't like Snapchat.
I'm going to tell you, and people are going to yell at me and say this isn't right, but you see this all the time, where when you get Pinterest, you got Pinterest, Twitter, Snapchat. They all kind of, they're all social media platforms, and they all. What's that?
To an extent, yeah.
To an extent, and they all somewhat trade together. I pair trade these things all the time. See Pinterest rip, and usually Twitter will rip on it too. Twitter doesn't know what to do because you got one going up, one going down. But when you see two report on the same day, and this applies to all pairs, because Pinterest and Snapchat, there's pairs traders that are pairing these out there. More often than not, when the first one reports and they blow it away, it immediately raises the bar for the other one. And Pinterest reported first. And I thought it too. I was like, oh man, Pinterest is blowing it away. I bet you they hit Snapchat. And sure enough, they come in and they just slam Snapchat down because they never rally on both. They always seem to rally the one, and then if it's the same day or even within a day, because that bar is now raised, and they look at the Snapchat, they're like, oh, that wasn't even close to as good as the Pinterest report. Let's hit that. That's the market mentality. So even though Snapchat beats on their numbers, they're like, well, that wasn't nearly as good as Pinterest. So they just naturally sell it. So that's why you see one go one direction, one go the other direction. Twitter sits there in the middle. I don't know what to do because it uses both of those as an indicator. And like I said, one is up, one is down. So Twitter is actually flat right now. But that's your answer. If you are a company, that's going to blow it away, you want to report first. If you're going to beat, you want to report first. If you're going to miss, you want to report second. Why that is, if you're going to miss, because if the first company misses, then let's say the scenario is different and Pinterest missed and Snapchat beat, they're like, oh, Snapchat way better than Pinterest. And they buy Snapchat and they hit Pinterest. So that's this market's mentality. It's so simplistic.
All right, so maybe here's
simplistic. I mean, Dennis, it's simplistic to you because you have been experienced this in education. But just real quickly on pins, I don't know if you're going to see that 88 print again. I mean, you very well could. How many times do you see that reaction, that initial gut reaction? And this is a 15-minute chart, but I bet you this happened within 2 or 3 minutes. You spiked down to 75.80. I don't think we're going to see that. Then you spiked up to 88.38. And then when you came back up to 88 again, it stopped, and now you're $3 off it. So I think now that you've been up there once, and maybe a couple people are caught long, I think it's going to be a little thicker. So 88 would be a great target in this one. If the longer it takes to get over 88, I think you might get a little bit of a fade here because a lot of people sitting on profits here. For what? This is 3, 6, 7 day rally. So that's what I'm looking at technically. And so Snap is getting hit, huh?
Well, so yeah, I want to get some commentary on Pinterest too, because I will take the opposite side of Joel.
Okay, here. Let's do it.
I think Pinterest is going to see $100, not today, obviously, but stocks that go from 70 to 85 to 88 and pull back a little bit, 85. I think eventually it sees $100. So I think you're going to see buyers on pullbacks. I do not think this is going to give it back for a number of reasons. One, we've been trading 4 hours last night, another 4 hours here this morning, and we are not really giving much back. Yeah, we're down $2 or $3 from the highs, and maybe that was an initial overshoot. But I think this holds on to the gains. I don't think this is going to be one that just turns around and gives it all back. It's a darling. It's liked by the market. It's making new all-time highs. It's $85 and $85. And when stock goes 75 to 85, they tend to go to 100. So I think eventually Pinterest sees 100. I'd be a buyer pullbacks on Pinterest for a trade. I know the valuation's stretched, but nobody gives a crap about valuation. Right. So you just got to trade what's in front of you. It's holding up well. I think Pinterest holds up today.
All right. Well, 88 is a potential target. 88.38 was your pre-market high, and then the next number after that is 100.
My target's $100.
Okay. The one thing I wanted to add on the Snapchat actually, and props to I forgot who brought it up now in the chat, but I'm going to find who you are and give you props. There was a comment that I brought up on the screen. Snapchat and Unity, ticker U, both sort of pointed to Apple in their calls yesterday. Because the Apple Store is making changes to its privacy settings, and they both said that could make it harder for them to optimize advertising. So they both specifically, and Facebook has said the same thing, right? So they're all sort of pointing the finger at Apple a little bit, saying we don't really know how this changed to the Apple Store or Apple privacy settings is how that's going to impact our advertising business, but we think it might. So that could be acting because Unity is down this morning too, right? Ticker U.
Yeah. Well, and it had earnings too, though, right?
Right, exactly. So
let's give we might as well give the U.
Yeah, sure. Report. I mean, it was a similar story. They beat and they beat. They still lost 10 cents per share, but they were estimated to lose 14 cents a share. Sales 220 million versus 204 million. They gave guidance that was in line for the quarter, sales guidance, and sales guidance for the year that was in line.
Okay, real quick though, I'm looking at this pins chart here, and this is Snap consolidation station here. Look at this. The bulls and the bears just squared it off here at 54 and a quarter. So you could stock market. Where are we looking? What was yesterday's low in this one? Yesterday's low is 58.31. On a rally, that's going to be your resistance. We're through yesterday's low. Your next daily low, if this buyer at 54, is finally taken out, your next daily low comes in at 52.90. But look how quiet that is. That's pretty unusual for, stock that just made an all-time high a couple days ago and gave an earnings report. And you were just talking
49 to 50. You got huge support down there. You're kind of if you want to do the 50%,
no man's land.
You're in there the 50%. But I think if you get down to 49 and 50, there's buyers down there because that was major support. 54, you're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Definitely. And then Unity, letter U. How is that trading?
It's way down, and I'm going to tell you. This is reminds me of Fastly, AYX. I mean, when the stocks have a little pullback, it's okay. When they have a big pullback, it's not. And the reason for that is you got a lot of traders that are caught now. They're spooked. It takes a while to try to shake that and try to get new, stronger hands again. You got people dumping. So I'm not buying the pullback on day one on a U. I'd be more inclined to buy the pullback on a Snapchat, although I'm not because I said I'd like to get down at 50. But on U, it reminds me too much of AYX when AYX reported, and we go back to last year. They've done it a couple times. You can see some gap downs on the chart. But we go back into the summertime. AYX reported went from 180 to 117. It stayed down for the better part of 2 or 3 months before it came back. Fastly did the same thing, reported. It actually leaked for another month and a half before it eventually came back. So it seems like eventually these come back, but if you're buying them on day one trying to catch the falling knife, you usually can get them at a cheaper price when they have significant sell-offs. So I think you wait till the dust settles. Maybe you start to find some support at a new level. Maybe that's going to be 120. It's hard to guess it right now, and then start to stop going down, start to show some life, start to perk up a bit. That's where you strike. Just randomly coming in and buying the dip when it's down 20 points, it's tough.
Tough to do. Yeah, you do. You got a pre-market low of 125. What's the bad news is it took out a pair of monthly lows at 135. So that's going to be your resistance. That's $5 away. Your next monthly low comes in at 93.37. So and just the way this chart looks, going back on the dailies, it looks like it will give you a shot at people thought 149, 148 and a half was a good level over the last couple days. So at least wait for a double bottom or 2 lows within within a buck or a half, something like that, before you jump in, have something to lean on. But as I said, 93.30, that's a long ways away. That was your November low, 93.37.
All right, let's do Peloton here. And then while you guys discuss that, I'm gonna read as much as I can of Clover Health just issued their response.
Oh,
but I didn't get a chance to look at it yet. So let's do Peloton first. Yep. Pretty much same story, great quarter. The only negatives that I could really find from their report are they pointed to higher shipping costs and they literally cannot keep up with demand, which to me seems like a good thing, but I guess it's not. Anyway, their earnings beat and they raised their guidance. Everything they said was amazing as far as the numbers go. The EPS, 18 cents per share versus a 9-cent estimate. Sales 1.06 versus $1.03 billion. They raised their sales guidance for this year. They raised it to going to be just around $4 billion. Check out these numbers year over year. Connected fitness subscriptions grew 134%. Paid digital subscriptions grew 472%. Total members grew to over 4.4 million. but again, they said they can't keep up with the demand. So
the ultimate lockdown stock. And one thing is, if we are coming out of the lockdown, eventually there will be some selling pressure in this stock. I don't know. Like, obviously, we don't know. Hopefully the vaccines, hopefully we're all going to go back to normal. When we get back to normal, it's still going to be some people who love their Pelotons, and it's still going to be that flow through, but there's going to be some people who go back to the gym. There's going to be less demand for those products. So the question is this like a FedEx? Is this as good as it gets? I've been saying that for a while. I thought it was as good as it gets, but I mean, the stock keeps coming back. So Zoom, on the other hand, has so much competition where Peloton doesn't have, in that direct space, it's Peloton, talking the bike, like that's, yes, there's NLS, there's a few other home gym systems and stuff, but they don't have that big competition like Zoom has right now, which makes it more attractive to me. If I'm just looking Zoom versus Peloton, Peloton's more attractive. But again, both of these stocks are lockdown stocks, and we're hoping in the back half of 2021, we're getting past, COVID to a certain extent. And I think that puts pressure on Peloton. So I'm not a buyer of the dip.
I had a bad feeling about this report. And just because a lot of the things, no, I know.
You weren't allowed to.
Discussed it. And I said, because it was up, had a nice day yesterday. So the street was leaning the wrong way into the report. So that's going to put additional selling pressure on it. We got a level in mind, and we're going to keep an eye on it. And when it gets back to that level, we're going to reconvene and discuss it.
You put your business plan together.
Yes, put my business plan together. Right now, 140 looks big. And that was only one low in that area, and it could very well take that out. So street leaning the wrong way into the report. Same things that, you said, Dennis, as far as being a lockdown. I don't know, the thing is that when people sign up, so they sign up and they have it, they're going to keep their subscription, but can they keep the growth up is the other thing. So still long, still strong, just a little bit nervous here. Looking at 140 on the upside here. If you want to get into yesterday's range, you got to get above 148. So keep an eye on that. Yesterday's low 148, and wow, I don't think we're going to see that close at 157.53.
All right, I just skimmed the Clover Health response.
Hey Dennis, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Go wide.
Oh, good point, Joel. Thanks very much.
Go wide, Dennis.
I'm not even scared.
No?
Some of these, do you think this one's going to move it? These jobs number, they find the silver lining.
So you're not even going to get off. Okay.
Oh no, I'm not. I don't have much out there right now, to be honest with you. So I'll make sure I don't get picked off too bad. So they find the silver lining though. So okay, we know these jobs reports. So if the numbers are strong, jobs looking good, they're like, okay, we're on the road to recovery. If the numbers are weak, they're like, well, we're going to get more stimulus. So the silver lining, it's like heads the market wins, tails the market wins. I mean, on a pullback here, I just think it's another buying opportunity. It's hard. I got bearish there with the GameStop thing a week and a half ago, and look where it got me. I sold some stocks and it was a mistake. So it's hard to ever be bearish, even on this jobs number. Buy the dip.
Do you want to know what those numbers are expected to be?
Yes, we do.
All right, non-farm payrolls, we are expecting for the U.S. economy to have gained 105,000 new jobs in January. Recall back in December, they had lost 140,000 jobs. So we're looking for pretty much a reversal from September on that front. Unemployment rate is expected to hold steady from December's number at 6.7%. So those are the headlines here. 105,000 job gains and 6.7% unemployment. It is now 8:30. Where is our number?
Here we go. Something they didn't like in there.
Wide. We're 40 cents wide right now. And
they're hitting it.
Yeah, they're hit at a point.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, we're coming back.
Okay.
That's why I didn't go
that
wide.
was 10 seconds.
I did not think we're going to have much response. Maybe,
All right, so we only gained 49,000 jobs versus 105,000 estimate. So I guess that you can call that a slightly weaker number than expected. Unemployment rate, 6.3%. So unemployment rate is getting lower. That's good. 6.3% versus 6.7% estimate. That's good. Did not gain as many jobs, but we will see what that number gets adjusted to in the coming weeks because that number gets adjusted constantly.
Silver lining market, though. If the numbers are weaker, we just go up anyways because that means we're more stimulus.
More stimulus, right? Right. I mean, interest rates can't go that much lower. But there you go.
Take them negative.
Yeah, you had.
And I'll add one more thing here. This is interesting. Private payrolls for January, 6,000 private payroll jobs added last month versus a 50,000 estimate. So that's a lot later than expected. Interesting.
Puts a little bit more significance on that pre-market high, 86 and a quarter. So it's just one number from one pre-market session, but certainly want to keep an eye on that. On the downside here, I do see we got to 76 and a half. I don't think that's any danger, real Robinson yet. What I'm going to look for to see if they're really going to sell this report is if we take out 38.73. That's my bogey on the downside. As long as we stay above 38.73, I think we go back and test that pre-market high. We take out 38.73. Maybe we take a shot at that pre-market low. But so far,
what about if we go the other way and they just decide to relentlessly buy?
There's nothing there.
Exactly.
30. So, why not pick a nice round number?
I mean, we're at all-time highs again.
3,900, right?
We're at all-time highs here again. Yeah. So I mean, what do I say on a stock? When a stock's making new all-time highs, you absolutely don't want to be short. So you're looking, here's the SPY making new all-time highs, made up 500 stocks. Why do I want to be short? There's no reason at all to be short this market right now. GameStop's cooled off significantly. It's $58. I know it's rallying a little bit, and people are saying, "Oh, GameStop's up this morning."
Because it's back online.
Our GameStop indicator is kind of now over. That was a fun trade and we talked about it on the show a week ago. That was a fun trade. Did you see Ryan Dietrich got the stats to back up my indicator too?
No, I did not. What did Ryan has to say?
Yeah, you should go grab it and show it. Show
right.
Ryan Dietrich's tweet there. You just got to grab it from last night, but he showed the stats, and it's exactly what we've been talking about this on the week, that GameStop was negatively correlated with the overall market. And he showed the last 7 days of trading, and it's perfect. GameStop up, market down. GameStop down, market up. Now the problem is GameStop's $57 and people aren't spooked anymore. We don't think hedge funds are getting blown out. So that GameStop indicator officially gets buried, I think. Unless GameStop starts ripping up to $100 again, then the market will start to get spooked about it again. But as long as it stays under, let's say, $65, $70, the market doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, so the thing is, though, too, Dennis, and we talk about this a lot. I mean, there's some people, if it gets back to 90, I'm gonna go out there at 89, 99. Because if it gets up to 90, I want to get out. And that's, there's just a lot of people stuck. And overhead supply. Now, the last time, it was just all, it was all blanks and giggles. So we'll see what happens.
The tell was off that Amazon. They got the Amazon exec, and the stock went from 90 to 115 and closed red that day. There's just so much overhead supply. There's so many people buried in this thing. You kind of knew where it was going to settle eventually. You feel bad for the people who don't listen to pre-market prep, but obviously, we knew eventually, this was going to end ugly. We didn't know the path, though, and that's why I was like, I can't short it. I'm absolutely not buying it, but you couldn't short it either. I mean, even if you could get a borrow, you didn't know. It could have went to 4, 5, 6, 700, 800. You didn't know when this party was going to end.
Yeah, I did. I knew exactly when the party was.
Joel actually did, because Joel sold the top.
I didn't sell the top.
High, pretty much. You did. You almost
No, I missed it because the high was 483. I missed it by over $100.
You did better than the majority of people.
Because I sold on the close on January 27th at 347.51. The rest of the position. The other part I sold much lower. I got a question from EK. Where do you think GME price would have been last week if they didn't put the restrictions? I'm going to put an end to this. I've said it multiple times on the show. This fire was lit by retail. This fire, they weren't continuing to throw the logs on it because we had stats, EK, with great stats from Citadel last week showing before the restrictions were put in that actually GME retail was a net seller of GME before the restrictions were put in. So good for retail.
Continuing to drive, but there was a slight net seller. But there's this myth out there that everybody thinks this was driven by retail. It started from retail. It started from WSB, but it was driven by other hedge funds. It was driven by big money. They were
going after each other.
Yeah, it was. There was totally, because those Citadel stats backed that right up. We suspected it, and then we got the stats from Citadel, and obviously we looked at that, and you could just see, well, if retail's a net seller, they're not driving the price from $40 or from, I think they drove from 40 to 60, but I think hedge funds took over then. And then you saw, and the thing just went to the 400. So this, myth that, it would have been $1,000, they wouldn't have put the restrictions. Even though there's a lot of accounts and they can move price to a certain extent, and they can, and they do, this was driven primarily by big money. Big money was driving this price higher too. They knew the squeeze was on. They were squeezing other hedge funds. The sharks were eating the other sharks. And so I think it had almost no effect on the price of GameStop. I do not believe GameStop would have been 500, 700, 800 if we wouldn't have put those restrictions on. I do not believe that. So,
and for me, I gave an example that if someone was hoping it got back up to 90, I have no idea if it's ever going to 90 or it's ever going to 10. It's going to eventually gonna calm down. It's going to calm down for a while. I'm just referring to the overhead supply. I mean, yesterday's high, what was that? 91.50. I mean, that's $40 away.
Oh, there's so
much supply.
There's so many bag holders in this now. How? I don't see a path for it to come back to 80, 100, 150, 200. Again, I didn't see the path originally, but there wasn't days and days of bag holders here now, and people who, obviously have a whole bunch of, and the people who made the money, they're out. I mean, there's some people that actually made a lot of money on this, but you feel bad for the people who bought it late, but at the same time, you got to know what you're buying, and you can't just be buying something saying, it's going to squeeze to 1,000. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to get rich on this thing, because eventually that party ends. Sell your peanuts while the circus is.
I got a quick good story for you. Quick, good story. A buddy of mine is an active trader, and he had a plumbing problem, and he had to have someone come in the house to fix something. Okay. And you weren't around, Dennis. You weren't available, right? And the plumber sees the trading setup and said, and I don't know I think it was on Tuesday. And he goes, Jay, what about that GameStop? And my buddy's a trader, said, it's not doing too well today. And then he's like, what do you mean? It was 225 yesterday. He goes, it's under 100. And he said the blood came out of the guy's face. He didn't say what kind of position he had or anything, but he just totally was. So it was the plumber cell signal or something like that. I don't know, but there's
so many people who, and here it goes to, just to the lessons that can be learned from GameStop. You can write a book on the lessons learned from this, but you've got to have discipline to know where your out is. If you're in it for a short squeeze, that's fine. You can be in stocks for a short squeeze, but when you're in these things and it starts turning the other way, you got to get out when it starts moving against you, because there's so many people in the general population and newer traders as well that bought it at 300 and they're like, it's 290. It was like, well, it'll come back to 300. I can't sell at 290. I don't want to lose $10. And then it's 250, and then it's 200, and then it's 150, and then it's 100. And they don't know what to do. And they're like, well, I'm down too much money so I'm just going to hold it forever. And they end up, selling this thing years and years later as a tax write-off at $4. So, I mean, this is, the story of discipline. This is the difference between a seasoned trader and a rookie trader. Is I don't look at how much money I can make on a trade. I look at how much money I can lose. That's why I couldn't control the risk. That's why I didn't even make. I think I traded GameStop once through the whole thing as a short-term little day trade. I think I traded like once through this whole thing, and I've watched it nonstop. It's been on my screen the whole time, using it as an indicator for the overall market, which we just showed the Ryan Dietrich stats, which worked really well. But I mean, if you're thinking this is the stock, this is how you get rich, is buying these high flyers. This is how you get poor for the majority of the population. So, I'm sorry to rain on the parade here for a lot of people who are maybe stuck holding GameStop, but I do not believe this will ever go back there. Again, I could be wrong. Maybe it will get squeezed again, but it's hard to do it twice. It's hard to do it again. Who are the shorts that are getting burned on at this time? People have learned, there's a lot of lessons here, and then there's no fundamental basis for it. I mean, Jim Cramer said it best when the stock was 185. He said, I've done my homework every which way, and I can't see a valuation above 60 for this thing. And he's like, I'm the high guy on the street. So, now it's here at $57. So props to Jim Cramer. We call him out sometimes, but it was a good call there. It wasn't a hard call to make because nobody could see the value at that price. But it's hard to see a scenario where this can possibly come back. I cannot envision any scenario where this is ever getting back above like
You know what I think too is interesting is that 0.72 and Citadel took over, they put that money in and they maybe assumed a position, right? So, so they went down.
I don't think that's.
You don't think they assumed the position?
No, I don't know.
No, that's so bad speculation. I think not at all. I think they gave their buddy some money, helped him out a bit. I think he covered. I know he lost some money. We know they lost some money.
Right.
It was down. We knew it's not. Like they were saying, it was down like
they got smoked. They got smoked.
Strike that from the record.
He got smoked. But everybody thinks Citadel lost through all this thing. Did you see the volume in GameStop? Those spreads?
Yep.
They're sitting there, and they were buying and selling from all those retail orders. They were just killing it.
Bang, bang, bang.
I mean, that's how they make the money. People want to know, how do they make money? And then people say selling the data. They don't. They make some money, or putting the data in, and they're putting the picture together. But the way that they really make the money is on the spreads.
Yeah, the order flow.
So when you have, just to understand, when you and payment for order flow is the mechanism for them to get the orders. But once they have the orders, they're making the money on the orders. They're buying these orders because they can sell on the offer and buy on the bid without having to go through the exchange and waiting in the queue. It's basically queue jumping is what it is. It's jumping the queue. So you've got a stock, like GameStop that's sitting with a 3-point wide spread. Well, you throw your offer out there, and then there's a high frequency trader that jumps that offer, and you're trying like hell to get up. Well, they have a buyer come in, they just sell at the offer, and they buy at the bid, and they just take the other side. They sell at the offer, buy at the bid, sell at the offer, buy at the bid.
1 trillion times a day.
And it's so perfect when you got that many orders coming in like this. They're just sitting here
collecting. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything.
3-point spreads the whole time. That's the advantage of having order flow. And that's why they pay for that order flow. They buy the order flow to make the spread so that they don't have to put their orders out there. They don't even have risk of getting picked off because they're not even out there in the market. So is it fair? I've said it for years. It's not fair. But that's the way, they've justified it by saying we got free commissions. So this is why we have free commissions, we're giving you the execution. So what are you complaining about? But they don't consider the limit orders that are on the exchange that can't get filled because they're sitting here queue jumping them all day. So that's really how it happens.
People are asking about GME not doing an offering. I just don't think they could. I think that it just would have looked bad, right? If the stock, and I don't know if they would have tried to do an offering, it was at 300. They're thinking, where am I going to get this done? Where am I gonna?
AMC did it though.
No,
they did.
That was a convertible,
it was a convertible, Dennis.
Yeah. That was
still an offer.
Yeah, but it wasn't like it wasn't already out there.
They all should have raised. I mean, I think it's mismanagement that they all didn't do an offering there because you could have got yourself, now you're at $57. And did you look at the KOSS?
I was about to go there, Dennis. I was about to go there. Not only did GameStop not do an offering, but you didn't really see any insider sells, and that the same cannot be said on KOSS because
look at that.
There was a lot of insider sells.
They were like, holy payday here finally, and this my crappy $2 stock, I'm selling at 40.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my Lord, I did not see that.
Wayne Dugan wrote an article on it and published it last night on Benzinga. Great research there, Wayne, just looking through it and so on, showing how many insiders got the hell out. There was a lot of insider selling there. To the tunes of millions and millions of dollars selling on KOSS.
It looks like the Koss, the insiders and Koss family sold more than $44 million worth of stock.
The family, the founders,
right, the family.
Yeah,
and there's nothing nefarious about that. They got
advantage of a market inefficiency. They
got a gift,
market stupidity.
Right, they got a gift, a total gift. And so what are you supposed to do?
I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
What about Muriel Siebert?
I have absolutely no problem with it either.
Why are you obsessed with her?
I don't know, because remember she used to do the commercials.
I don't know why
She was like the first lady on Water. Muriel Siebert?
No.
Do you?
No,
Muriel Siebert, Dan Dorfman, back in the good old days.
Yeah, we were talking. Me and Chris Nagy were talking Dorfman last night on Twitter. There,
really?
Trade. The Dorfman trade. That's before my times, but I know about
that's
like
just
80s and 90s, wasn't it? Early night?
It's when I was with Oldie. I've told this story 1,000 times, and people, they had free trading back then, and you could tell the guys that had the Bloomberg, man, because you'd be sitting there and you get an order, buy 5,000, buy 5,000, and you're like, wow, what's going on with this stock? And then they'll be like, it's Dorfman. They turn the TV up, and then there was this. I used to call it an internet fish company. And this is back before the internet. It was Diana Shipping or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And it was Dorfman came out. I don't even know if it's still around, but I got plowed. I got absolutely plowed in that because it just, I just didn't think about.
You're run over by the Dorfman train. You're run over by the Dorfman train.
I did. And then you just, when you're short of stock and you're getting nothing but buyers. Yeah. You send it to the street. You're just like working. You're just like, okay, boom, boom. Stick another knife in your heart. But yeah, Dorfman, it's nothing new. Dorfman, he's looking down on that GameStop thing, and he's like saying, "What's new? What's news? This is old news." But DSX is Diana. I don't know if that's the same company though. But anyways, let's just quick check under the hood here.
Trade. Chris Nagy reached out. He's like, the Dorfman trade, because we were talking about these crazy moves off CNBC, and he's like, the Dorfman trade. It's before my time, but I knew it wasn't before Joel. Nothing's before Joel's time. So Joel,
nothing.
Run over.
Gosh, man, that 1929 crash. Gosh, that was
a tough day for you.
That was a buy the dip, though.
That was a buy the dip. Joel's sitting there on the floor, and he's like, "Come to Papa." All right.
S&P's hanging in here, up 17 handles. So buy the dip looked so that I believe it even come near that 76 that midweight range on the session in 73, 76.50 I think was the low of that little dip. So all poised set to take out that pre-market high 86 and a quarter.
I want to talk Clover.
Yeah, so let's look at Clover for a second here. We got a bit of a back and forth going on because Clover issued their response to the Hindenburg report this morning. Hindenburg has since responded to the response, saying they're preparing a response of their own, but at the very least, they're glad to see that there's a little bit more transparency about what the company knew and when. So as far as what Clover actually said, they said, one of the big cruxes of the short report was, hey, there are all these DOJ investigations against Clover. That Chamath or that were not disclosed, right? That no one disclosed, and Clover responded saying, yes, we knew about these things, but we also went through the IPO process, and we didn't believe that any of these DOJ investigations were materially important. Well, how could that be? I'll just read from the Clover's response right now. As a heavily regulated industries, Wow, let's start again.
Slow down, Spencer. Slow down.
As heavily regulated organizations participating in Medicare Advantage, Clover and its peers receive frequent requests for information from regulatory bodies. These are typically confidential. We promptly respond to these requests as and when they come in. As the short-selling firm points out, the DOJ also often reaches out to ex-employees, including by civil investigative demands as part of their information gathering process. So, for absolute clarity, they received these notices from the DOJ. They responded, but they did not believe, because of the nature of the insurance industry, that they were necessarily material for investors. They believe these are rather routine. So we'll see what Hindenburg says, but that's the crux of the response there, because that was really the crux of the report, was look at all these DOJ investigations. And
well, that guy's a really smart guy, right?
Oh,
I can't even pronounce his name, Spencer.
Chamath Palihapitiya.
Yeah. So I mean, he did his homework. Short. It's funny though. The short sellers come in, issue a report, they bash it, and then they come out and respond that it doesn't go back up as much. I don't have any position. Not look at 1186 yesterday's low. Let's just call it $12. I mean, if you're looking to, if you think this is okay, this is a buy the dip opportunity, let's hold that 1186, get above 13, go fill the gap.
Oh, and then one more thing. Is Clover aware of any other regulatory investigations? If so, what are the details? No, they are unaware. The exception to that is an SEC investigation, which Clover says we believe was the direct result of the short report from yesterday. So there was no investigation prior to yesterday. That's that. I like Joel's analysis. So let's move on.
I don't know what to say on Clover. I don't follow the company close enough. I had it when it was a SPAC. I sold it before it converted as I think was IPOC. So many of these SPACs we've been.
How's that SPAC portfolio doing?
It's pretty good. I got two that were rumored here overnight. Here, FMAC. I think I have so many of these. I've been buying them at between 10 and 11. The ones because I think like
they get
it's
the pop.
Well, you're trying to get the ones that are gonna have a deal eventually. So I'm picking the management teams that I like as well. So I think overall it's been doing really well. So some of them sit here and they don't do much until they get rumors of a deal or they actually get a deal. But that FMAC got rumors yesterday and it blasted off at the close. There's a bad tick on the close. You see that 1444, but it really didn't trade up there. It's just I don't know if it's closing print or what it was. But $13 is really, you can see the move up there. It's $12.50. So it looks like it's down $2 here this morning, but it really wasn't up there. So no, it's been doing well. So
yeah. Okay. Where's Jason Rasnick? I do not know. He has an invitation. We don't know where he is.
He's in the chat. He's been in the chat all morning.
He's in the chat, but he's not there now. Maybe he's driving. I don't know. It snowed overnight, so maybe he's trying to get in. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, yeah. That was a decent amount of snow we got here, huh?
We did.
Was it hard getting downtown for you, Spence?
No. Dennis, I mean, how much? No, I know. Dennis, how much snow did you get?
We didn't get that much up here. We've had a lot of snow though. Like I'm in the snow belt up here.
I know. That's why
I got 2 feet on the ground. I've had 2 feet on the ground the whole time. It doesn't melt because we don't go above freezing. Yeah. I got the skating rink out on the bay right now. It's kind of fun.
Oh, great.
Although I'm trying to learn, I never made a skating rink before because I'm never up here in the winter. But like I said, I sold my my other house, so right now I've just got the cottage because we're building another house. So I'm staying here, and it's been a little bit of a tough winter because I'm throwing wood stove logs, and I went full woodsman up here. So, but doing the skating rink is interesting. So I just I had it smooth the one day, and then a big crack came through because it's on the bay, and then I was like, okay, well I'll raise up the water, and then I haven't been able to get it that smooth since. You can skate on it.
Wait! You are responsible for the maintenance of this rink?
It's my own rink.
You said it's on the lake. You have your own private lake?
No, in front of me on the bay. I have property on the bay.
Okay, so it's a bay. So it's not just you. It's not your own bay, right? Is it?
I just built a rink in front of my house.
Yeah, it's Dennis Bay.
I just built a rink in front of my house. You're allowed to build rinks in front of the bay.
All right. Okay.
So that's why you buy waterfront property, so you can use the water in front of you. I literally have. I'll take a picture of it.
For hockey. Okay.
Yeah, my kid can't be. We're in lockdown. And I got to keep my boy skating. So this is important in Canada. So anyways, I got to keep him out there. I had full hockey gear and doing drills yesterday out there. Yeah. So I'm his coach, and I'm the only one because there's no team.
All righty.
We're trying to make him the next Connor McDavid.
David McConnor. They're asking about Ford. They had
Ford bacon.
Earnings yesterday. Don't believe the EPS number was particularly comparable. Sales much more comparable. 36 billion versus 33.8 billion. I think their forward-looking statements were a little bit downbeat. They talked a little bit about not headwinds on production, but let's look at the chart.
Knocking on the door, $12. You had that 12.12 high, I believe, when 12.15 high when I think it was Deutsche Bank put it out for a day trade or something. So there it is. That's all you have. Strong in the pre-market, little dipping and diving, but strong. Not sure what much paper is going to be there at 12 this time, second time around. But close over 12 would definitely be good for Ford. And GM, I got hit on a Motley Fool article a couple days ago and just did this article, reversal of a bullish trend or a much needed pullback. I just didn't put that in there. Long shares of GM never did pull the trigger on the Ford.
Holy, is this Ford? I'm long Ford. Holy, is this
Me too.
Is this book littered, Joel? And I mean, absolutely. What's the imbalance? Got to be a big buy imbalance. Start chewing through the stock. 835,000 shares. So that's something to get it started. But just looking here, we got 12. That's such a big number. I got to add a couple of zeros to that. That's 1.7 mil to go at 12. That's significant. And then you got another 111,000, 1190. You got another 210,000, 1187. You got another 150,000, 1180. You got another 100,000, 1175. So it gets tough sledding above 1175. It's thick. It's got to chew through all that stuff at 12. But even if you get through 12, you got institutionals just selling everywhere. 1210, 200,000 shares. 1215, 320,000 shares for sale. 1220, another 100,000 shares. 1225, 315,000 shares. There's millions of shares up 40 cents from here. So if I was a trader, I'm long forward in the long-term investment portfolio, but as a trade, it looks pretty
tough
here.
Tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't be buying it up here.
Also, watch for the old take out the point trick, and then the guy's like, I'm not putting my order out there at 12, but if they get to 12.10, I'm going to say, sell me 742,000 shares. Down to 12. And then they come in and go, take it down to 12. So those are people that are not on the book. They're not showing their hand. And then you have the HFTs or whatever. They're going to try and step ahead of those orders. But let's see. I mean, it's open. It's a long day. It trades a lot of volume. Head start. It's a Detroit, Michigan, or Dearborn, Michigan company. So, hey, let's go.
All right, we've got Jason Rasnick here. And before I bring him on, I just want to say we have thousands of viewers, but only hundreds of likes. That is not acceptable. Not acceptable. So hit that like button and get us to a much more even like to viewer ratio. Jason, I think we have you on audio only. Where are you right now?
Yes, you have me on audio only. I am calling you from Mars. I'm up in Mars.
Calling you from Mars.
I took the first mission up to Mars with we had to go on a trip with what these stocks are doing, like Upwork and GAN and all this stuff. I decided to celebrate and go to Mars for a little bit. So the video reception is not that good. But I do have one request from Joe Elconin. He just made a sound noise when he said it goes boom or something goes. Can you make that sound noise again, Joel? It was awesome just now. So
I don't remember what it is.
What? Oh my God, it was amazing. It was like
spontaneously boom.
Yeah, you heard it, Dennis. It was amazing. I actually loved that noise.
Wait, I need to know. We need to know what brand, what company's rocket you took up. Was it Virgin Galactic? Was it SpaceX? I don't think we know the answer to that, but
yes, Spencer. That's a good question. I called Richard Branson and I called Chamath. They said that they weren't ready. They're fast followers. So, but then I called Elon. I couldn't get a hold of Elon. So it's neither of those, Spencer.
Oh.
It's Blue Octagon or something.
Blue Origin. Blue Origin.
So, they got the UFC up there too.
Hey, it was a whistle. I guess I whistled on the show.
Can you do it again?
You want to know what? If anybody wants to challenge me on the world's loudest whistle,
I don't.
Bring it on.
I
could blow
those Seinfeld characters behind.
I could knock Spencer off his chair with a whistle.
I've heard you whistle. It's extremely loud.
No,
and I haven't even cranked it.
Headset on, and I don't want hearing.
I won't do it.
Okay,
I won't do it.
You did have a sweet little noise, Joel.
That's what it was.
No,
but I'm not going to do it because I don't want to blow out all the equipment. But anyways,
all right. Well, and guys in the chat, I can't see the chat from Mars. They do not have the YouTube thing up there. It does not work in Mars. It's like a Chinese thing where they turn it off. Mars has not had the correct. Well, actually, I can see. I can see your chats. I can't respond. That's what I can do. But let me get to my stocks immediately. Oh, and I have breaking news. Amazon. Jeff Bezos, as you guys know, is going to be the executive chairman. Their new CEO is a guy by the name of Andy Jassy, a friend of mine. I've talked to him for the last 4 years. He's a Michigan boy. He's a guy that lives like 5 houses down from me. He's first cousins with him. I got introduced to him when our AWS bill was too big three years ago, and I stayed in touch. Not as good as I should have, Dennis, to be honest, but I did email him, and he went back and said thanks. And then I said, well, you got to come on one of our shows one day, and he wrote me like a check mark. So that's
excellent.
Cool.
We got an insider. All right, nice. We got Amazon. Nice.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know. Andy Jassy, he definitely knows me. He knows Jason Rasnick. That's what I'll say. All right, I got to go to stocks real quick because Mac is asking me. So Mac, hold on, buddy. Here we go. I want to go real quick. You guys, I don't have drums. I don't have anything. But this girl Lexi, she used to make Upwork. She lost all this money when it was at 24 and it went down to 16. And I said, back up the truck. And Dennis and I got in a fight one morning because I said mortgage. I said no. I said mortgage the house, but I was out of context. I was just like,
it was an expression.
It was an expression. Dennis, in hindsight, I wish I did. But,
I wish I would have too.
yes. Like, it's an expression. And so Upwork, for the first time, I'm literally going to call the CEO today and say, I got to hand it to you, man. You made it happen for all of us. It's over $50. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And then one more. Bill, Bill. This is a Luke Jacoby. He got me on this ride. We use Bill.com to pay our vendors. They pay us. And my friend, Kathy Wood, I'm dropping names like I'm dropping it like it's hot. I don't know. She bought some stocks, BIL, yesterday. And I've owned this one for 3 weeks now. And then we're not done yet. My voice is not going to go. Penn National. So this is because this is a 121. I got to call Portnoy right now. 121. Since Dave Portnoy's been in Detroit, it has gone from 98 to 121. I don't know if that's saying something or what, but we saw Dave Portnoy at dinner 2 nights ago, and I talked to him. I'm like, Penn to 1,000. That's what I said to him. So,
well, Jason, the CEO of Penn was on CNBC this morning, so I'm sure that's helping things.
No, I think it's the Detroit thing. But yeah, Spencer, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's the Detroit thing. Okay. I'm going with the Detroit thing as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Dennis.
All right.
Thank you for the support.
Hey, wait. Speaking of,
right,
I'm sorry. Continue.
Then
I'm
gonna keep.
Sorry,
Dennis, I got that reference.
it was just good.
Another movie reference?
Oh yeah, it was for sure.
What movie?
Wait,
No, and then.
Come
No,
on,
and
guys.
I interrupted you.
Dennis.
I'm going to let Jason lose his train of thought.
Gan. I know you guys are. Gan, $27. Dennis, do you still own some Gan?
No. It's back to, actually, I sold it up here around 26 or 27. I should have rebought it. I never rebought it. I could have got in at 14, 15, 16, laughed at all you guys, and now I didn't rebuy it. I should have rebought it.
Yeah, because I bought it at 26 originally, and then I bought it all the way down to 17 or 16. 15 I went down to. My dollar cost average buy price, I'm looking at my E-Trade account, is 1701, and I own a decent sized position. So today I'm buying lunch for the office again, 2 days in a row. So like this is big, Gan. And okay, and then we're gonna go a little quick. I bought a stock, and I said it on the show, guys, last week, the week before. I just want to update you guys on it because I hate when people say they buy or sell a stock and they don't give an update. Those are terrible shows, but we're the best in the world. So API, Agora, they do work with Clubhouse. That is up 55.3%. I wish we could play the replay of me on the show 2 weeks ago saying buy Agora, and that's what we need our editors to do so they can get some proof on this. I've sold some of the API when it was up 49 or 51%. I'm keeping the rest. I like my Agora still. And lithium has been stuck in the 19 to 22 range. I trimmed some more of that, Dennis, because I wanted to allocate more to this company, FVRR Fiverr. I started buying it at like 170, and now it's 270. So I'm allocating more. And Dennis, I did make a trade that could be good, could be bad. When I say it, I'm gonna get really crapped on in the chat.
What you buy?
I have call options, but I also trimmed my CCIV. The Churchill one that hasn't done the deal yet. If that deal doesn't happen, Dennis, this stock drops by 50%. So,
yeah, that's a good call.
So, Dennis, it is or it isn't, because it'll go up 1,000% if I'm wrong, right? I mean, right, Dennis? I don't know what it'll go up if I'm wrong.
A lot of good news is priced in this DCIV, and I've been the same thing. Like, it's still just rumors here. So if this deal doesn't happen, you're right, that thing will get collapsed. So I think you ring the register here too. I like ringing the register though, but I always ring the register too soon, Jason. So you shouldn't take advice. Yeah, I'm pretty good at entering the positions. I suck at exiting. I always get out too soon. What's going on? Wait, I hear somebody eating in the background now.
No, Jason's mic. Hold on.
Sounds like he's eating chips.
Hold on, Jason.
He's eating chips on Mars. Are they floating around on you, those chips?
I don't know. Hold on a second.
This is the Martians got him. The Martians got Jason Rasnick.
All right, my audio.
Wait a minute.
Can you guys hear me? No.
Kind of. Are the Martians attacking you?
We hear you a little bit.
He's getting eaten by aliens. That wasn't chips. We were hearing Jason get eaten.
right.
The Martians got him. The Martians got him. It did sound like Doritos. The Martians got him. Holy man, we went on a bad tangent here now.
Yeah, I agree on that one.
Joel's just silent in the background. It's like, what has this turned into? It used to be a stock.
All right. I think we lost the connection there with Raz, but damn, I just want to say something in the chat. So it was like, yeah, Jason's buying lunch for the office. No one's here. There are like 6 or 7 people here. So
I can see 5 right now.
And there we go. Exactly. All right. 9:05. Let's wrap it up, guys, and then I'll do some charts with Mitch. Unless Joel, you'd like to stay on with me for a couple minutes. But any final thoughts?
I got a link for my RT segment if you want to watch. They just tweeted.
Yeah.
I
want to tell Jason that. I want to tell Jason.
RT.com. So here. I got you a link here, and just tune in at 10 a.m. if you want to listen to me. Here, I'll post it too. I'll tweet it out too. So follow me on my Twitter. But I just posted it into the chat as well. So.
in Soviet Russia don't interview you. You interview Russia. Okay, so it's going to be.
I know who I'm on with now, so I'm going to be on with Richard Wolf.
Oh wait, Jason's
Brian
back.
Rose.
Jason, we got you.
Yeah. So my dentist sounded like the worst robot ever. And so I couldn't take it, so I just hung up. And now it's fixed. I don't know what was going on. He sounded like the worst robot noise you could ever imagine, Dennis, is what it was. I turned my phone on and off and back on. So wait, did you say Dennis is on RT?
Yeah, isn't that hilarious?
At 10 a.m.
I love it. Do you want me to give you some Russian words?
Sputnik is the only one I know.
Dennis.
All right.
Did I say it right? I think it's Sputnik. It's better than the J&J one.
Hey guys,
I'm pretty sure I'm on RTUS though. I don't think I'm on the Russian feed. I don't know though. I'm on host Ben Swan. I'm on with Ben Swan.
All right,
who?
Jason, you have any stocks for us? Any trades?
Yes. I got one quick thing, guys. At 4:05 today, if you're in the chat and you want to know more about Benzinga, we have our annual award show at 4:05. They're internal team members. I'm dressed in a crazy outfit, and you'll see it. And there's crazy videos. We got all I'm saying is it's from 4:05 to about 4:25, and I'm telling you, it's must-see TV. We spent some time on it. I'll give you one little hint. I hurt myself performing stuff for a video last night in the middle of Detroit. I hurt myself. I had to ice my leg down. That's how bad it was. I got a bruise on my leg for this video that we have coming out at 4:05. If you're around, it should be on live. If not, maybe it'll be a separate clip. But that's all I got to say. That's it.
Wait. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, Raz. We'll see you later. Wait, Dennis, I don't see that link you put in there.
I didn't post right. I posted it, but
you're blocked.
Here, send it to me and I'll get it out.
It's on Twitter. So
all right, it's on Twitter. All right, Dennis tweeted it at Triple D Trader.
Well, no, I just retweeted it, but here, look, I put it here. It's YouTube. It's this link here, but then that doesn't click. It doesn't.
Sometimes they don't let you post.
Is that what it is?
Things.
They don't let you put a YouTube link in a YouTube. No, that's tough.
Hold on a second.
Dennis, I don't see your tweet yet.
Oh, you just retweet. Okay, I got it. I got it.
Okay, Spencer's gonna help us out here. So,
all right.
We're talking GameStop.
So
how short selling doesn't ruin the markets.
So that link is not clickable. I'm just gonna say go to Dennis's Twitter account and you can see the link there at Triple D Trader. But
did you put it in Twitter? Did you tweet it out?
Clickable. You can click yours, the Benzinga one. Somebody just got it out there.
You can click that? Okay. I didn't realize you could.
Yeah, the little Benzinga link. So I'll retweet it too at Triple D Trader. You can see my name on the screen. I'll tweet out there too. So 10 a.m. or 10:20. They just moved me to 10:20.
I got bumped. I can't with these guys.
I just got the notification. I got bumped to 10:20. Somebody more important was on.
Lord knows I never bump our guests.
Jerome Powell.
I bump our
Can you come tomorrow?
I bump our guests all week, bump our guests all the time. All right. It's 9:10, 9:09. I'll let you go. Joel, if you want to stay on with me, great. If not, I'm gonna bring Mitch on and we're gonna do some charts for a couple of minutes. And also I know we didn't get to as many earnings as I would have liked. So I'd like to go through a couple of those real fast here. And I just want to start with ATVI because I want.
I'm leaving though.
I'm going to hop off too. So you can. You can have Mitch come on. So,
All
all
right.
right. We'll see you guys. Are we going to go 3:30 today or
Yeah, we're going to go
3:40?
3:30. Joel will be back with me to wrap up the week. See you then, Joel.
All right.
All right.